Welcome to Kicking Ass with Tanner Stone. It's good to be back. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fucking awful, dude.
Whoa, why's that?
Nah, I'm joking.
I was gonna say, like, everybody's doing awful these days, apparently.
Yeah, everybody's so negative. I swear.
You know when you ask them like, "How are you?" and then you're like, the only right answer is, "I'm doing good," and they go, "Not good." You're like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect that. Like, how am I supposed to deal with that?
Yeah, because everyone's usual response is just to say good. Like if you go
Yeah.
ask anybody, they're just like, "I'm good." What the fuck?
You have
I
to
mean,
say you're good.
yeah.
I mean,
Like, what
do
does
you
good
though?
mean? You don't, but like, do you want to talk to that person in that sense of way?
I think
Like,
from a guy's perspective, you have to say you're good. Maybe but that's a little stereotypical.
Yeah, because there's that stigmatism for being like a male
Mm-hmm.
in our society, like to be a strong guy and like not showing a sign of weakness. Because if a guy were to ask you like, "Yo, how you doing?" You're like, "Doing shit, feel awful." They'd be like, "Oh,
Like nobody knows what to say.
yeah."
No, it's awkward. All right, like it's happened to me a couple times in my life, but it's just like you like take a second, and you're like, oh, okay, like that's a
But
curveball.
nobody wants to hear your shit though. Like if I say to Lucas, like, how are you? And he goes awful, like, come on, man. I'm just trying to start conversation.
But it depends if you know him or not. Like if you're like good friends with them, like
Yeah, but if it's a random dude.
no, yeah, I know, and there's people out there that'll do that.
Hey, but maybe you can make like a really good friend right there. Make a new friend. You never know.
Yeah, like forget the stigma, forget the norms. I still feel like you say you're doing all right,
100%.
even if you're not. No.
No, yeah.
You do. I always say I'm doing all right, like to people, and then if you're gonna be sad, go be sad alone. Like, don't put other people in your negativeness. I mean, I don't.
What
yeah.
if they're like hurting bad?
Oh, then
like-
obviously say something. I don't know. Everybody's so negative nowadays.
I
Like,
wouldn't say you're putting people in your negativity if you're like speaking on like how you actually feel. Because you just said like you'd bring people down to negativity with you. I wouldn't say per se that what's happening at that moment. If someone comes up to me and says like, "How you doing?" I'm saying awful. Like he's like that's a sign of that person's like looking out for help to speak to someone. Like he has no one to speak to, and which is something that should be taken serious because nowadays like mental health is just in like a top. I mean, well back then it wasn't like a topic like looked onto, but now it's been like growing steadily throughout the years, and people are talking more about it.
No, yeah, I agree with that for sure. But it's also I think there's people out there that are just gonna give you like a bad response just to kind of make you feel bad for them. Like maybe nothing's really wrong. They're just doing it to themselves.
There is that too. Yeah, there could be like that. No, I see what you're saying. That does happen. Like people just want the attention. Like those are the people that just seek attention.
But nowadays, I mean, I think like two out of every 3 Americans is on a depression medication or some crazy statistic like that. Suicide rates are higher than ever before. Depression medications higher than ever before. It's kind of a big deal. It's turning into.
do you guys believe in depression?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, I was waiting to ask that question.
That's an interesting.
It's very tough.
I believe I don't believe that people can have depression, but I believe that people can be depressed. That's what I believe. I believe it's just a feeling that people can have.
Yeah, like I'm mixed on it because there are like been studies where your brain, like you could see that someone's brain with depression is acting differently than someone's brain without it because like different chemical and hormones are not being released or there's a lack of it or there's too much of something, vice versa. And so it's I definitely do believe that there is depression. I just think that more research needs to come out about it. And I think that medication is being given out too easily. I think that not everybody needs to be on depression medication right away, but for some people I see how it can be effective. What do you guys think of that?
Doesn't the medication just make you numb?
I mean, yeah, so I've taken depression medication, not for depression, but for ADHD. and I disliked every single one of them. It made me feel like a zombie. Like it did make me feel numb.
Is
So I
Adderall
could
is
firsthand
Adderall one of
speak.
them or no?
Adderall is not a depression medication. That's a
No.
stimulant. So that affects you in a different way. But there's other ones that are depressants, and those just like they kind of like depress your emotions in a way.
Isn't that like I like in the fitness? There's something called ashwagandha.
Yeah,
Heard
I
of
know
that?
what that is.
Is it something similar to that? In a
I mean,
sense,
it's definitely stronger than that. Ashwagandha is like a melatonin.
it's a
like
natural boost of like testosterone,
Yeah.
and it also suppresses your emotions. I think
Yeah, but not to
from
the
what I
extent
heard,
of
it
like
like
a medication.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, they're giving it out way too easily.
The thing that I don't like is that there's mental health days now. Like I don't like when someone says, I'm feeling depressed and feeling sad today. I need a mental health day. Like I saw this video.
That's. I mean, it's a new
Hey,
thing.
listen, that's an amazing way to skip work. I'm gonna be honest, I've used it before to get out of work once or twice. I was like, yo, I need a mental health day. I can't. And they respect it.
But you don't have to tell them it's a mental health day. You could just say like you're sick. I have something to take care of. I don't know. I feel like the main cause, like, all right, if you come to the doctor and you're saying you're depressed severely, and you maybe had a family member that just passed away, or you had a traumatic incident, or blah blah blah, but then you're not exercising, you're not eating well, you're not doing these other things that we should be doing to make you feel good, then you know what? I think that you should try to do those things before you just resort to saying like I'm depressed, and give me the medication. Exactly.
So how does one get diagnosed to be on the medication? Like how do you know like okay, this
From my
person,
experience,
yeah.
keep going.
No, I'm just saying like let's say
It's pretty easy, man.
I
You
feel
can just go to a
depressed, right?
psychologist.
Okay, so I could just go to someone and be like, yo, I'm feeling depressed. Give me some meds.
Correct. Basically, yeah.
Wow.
And then maybe you get your blood work tested, but yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back to South Park like I did last episode. But in the South Park episode, Timmy, the one in the wheelchair. So in one of the episodes, like he got diagnosed with ADHD, and then he didn't have to do his homework, and he got put on this like pills. Like he just went to the doctor. The doctor read him The Great Gatsby, and the doctor asked him a question after, and he just goes, Timmy. And they gave him like pills. And then all the other kids like, he doesn't have to do homework. I'm going to get diagnosed with ADHD. So they all go, or ADD, not ADHD. And they all get put on pills like so easily. They just made fun of
They're basically mocking like the doctors. No, yeah, it's definitely a real. I think it's a problem. I think that it needs to be. I think people need to understand that there's more things that you could do before you resort to medication. But at the same time, some people have had really good effects of the medication, and it's like changed their lives. But for me, like my goal, I have ADHD, like very severe ADHD. But honestly, I love it. Like I think it makes me who I am. But my end goal would to be like not to take medication ever. That'd be like my end goal, like be able to get my work done and be effective and efficient without taking Adderall or whatever I'm prescribed on. And that's like my end goal. So I have a different perspective than somebody else would.
Yeah, there's this one kid in my class who like has ADHD, and one day he was like really energetic, and it's out of nowhere. Like people just get energetic when they're not like I'm going to use you as an example. Some podcasts, like you told me you're very energetic because you're not on your medication, and some you're on your medication, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, not for the podcast, it's more for school that day, but yes. Yeah.
And so, like, do you feel a lot different?
100%. Oh, night and day. I'm sure a lot of other people who take Adderall or take ADHD meds will understand where I'm coming from, where like you kind of feel like a zombie.
So Adderall's for ADHD.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. I know for a fact for ADHD, but I'm not sure if it's used for anything else.
So before you study or do anything school related, do you take like a pill, or how does it work?
Not always. So you have a long term one. You have a pill that could last like 10 hours, and then you have a pill that lasts like 3 to 6. And depending on like how long I need it for, I'll take either or. And you usually want to take it in the morning, but it does suppress your appetite. So like you want to eat before you take it, because if you don't get hungry when you're on it.
Does this affect like your day taking the pill? Like, have
Yeah.
you done like one day without the pill and like one day with the pill? Like,
Yeah, of
affects you?
course. Yeah, like I won't take it on the weekends.
So like
Unless it's
big
a lot of
effect,
work.
or like you like does it? How does it affect you? How does it affect you taking the pill?
I'm definitely less productive when I don't take it. Definitely,
Helps you focus.
yeah. When I take it, it definitely helps me focus. Yes.
So for ADHD, you take that pill and it helps you focus. And what about for when you have depression, you take that pill? What does it do? you
Well,
think?
I don't have depression. I'm a pretty happy guy. However, I'm not sure if ADHD is even used for depression. I don't think it is.
No.
Yeah. I'm sure. I think that the depression medication works by like increasing serotonin and different types of like hormones or dopamine. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's how it works. By like increasing certain feelings or chemicals in your brain.
It says by increasing neurotransmitters through antidepressants.
Yeah. So I think Look at that.
Do you guys know anyone with depression?
Yeah, I know I know a few people, but I
Do
feel
you-
like most people don't know, right? Or I know a lot of people with anxiety. Do you guys have anxiety?
My brother does.
I wouldn't say I have anxiety.
I feel like everybody gets anxious.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like some part of anxiety is normal.
Yeah, no, having anxiety it's normal throughout life, but I feel like people have.
See, that's what I was trying to say before, is that everybody feels depressed and everybody could feel anxious.
I don't think it's being depressed
You could
because,
feel
like, I want to touch back to what Xander was saying. Like, before taking the medications, go work out, go be active and be healthy. Like, some people get depressed from being lazy. Like, if you're just like lazy on your phone doing nothing, you're gonna like self-diagnose yourself as being depressed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you don't get out of bed, you're just in bed doing nothing, playing video games all day.
And also when you like do all those things all day and you always have like that dopamine release and you don't do it for a while, that could also fuck with you.
The common denominator between everybody who diagnose themselves with depression or feels depressed is they don't have a goal. And setting a goal is so important, because I was feeling like, not depressed, I was just feeling sad because I had nothing to do. So I set a goal for myself. I just think that's so important for everybody to do, especially because it's the new year now. Everybody should be setting goals.
Absolutely.
And that's the best thing for your mental health.
I also think that those, like, I don't want to just make an assumption, but I do think that if somebody comes to you and they say, "Oh, I'm depressed," I'd ask 3 questions: What do you eat? What do you do every day, like physically for health reasons? And do you like go out, or do you put yourself out there? Are you busy playing sports, et cetera, et cetera? And I think that no would be answered in most of those 3 questions, because I find people that are moving their body, eating healthy, and trying new things and kind of getting involved, their quality of life is higher, and it's less prone to, I don't know, being sad.
No, 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I agree that everybody's focusing on their mental health a lot more now. Like all these, you know how people used to look up to YouTubers and stuff now? And there still are, and YouTubers are setting a better example, because when I watch Aiden Ross, he said he was dieting more, and they're all becoming much better mentors for people like us to look up to. They used to do dumb fails and stuff, but now the new thing is setting a goal, cutting down to a certain weight, you're bulking up, eating healthy. And I just think that's great for people's mental healths.
I have kind of realized that. I don't really follow like specific YouTubers, but I do see how like those young kids like that made it, and like influencers, they are promoting, you know, like the next wave of like functional medicine.
I see that, but I also feel like it depends on the like type of side of a social media you're on or algorithm that it's like tailored towards you, because you can be seeing that, and then someone else who's like, because you're fit, you work out, and you eat healthy, you can see all those stuff on your feed like Andrew Tate, motivational stuff. But if someone who doesn't do that, they're seeing something completely different from what you're seeing. That could
Yeah.
also like
That's a good point. It really is depending on like what is tailored for you.
I can't think of any unhealthy, like, I keep saying like, I can't think of any unhealthy YouTubers or people I look up to.
I mean, it depends on how you see. For example, let's take like the females who are trying to be like boss ladies and stuff, and just boss ladies. If you could take that as being unhealthy to the girls, or
Or like
I know
Lizzo.
what you're talking about.
Lizzo's a
yeah,
good example.
Lizzo. There you go, Lizzo. Like she promotes being comfortable in your own body.
Yeah, she does.
She does. And there's actually something came out. What's that? The Lululemon CEO. He said something about not like promoting. I don't say fat people. I'm gonna say fat people, like wearing like their clothes. It's like his clothes are meant for like people that are slim and fit. He came out with a statement saying that.
Oh, I remember that. Didn't he get a lot of backlash for that?
He did, because he doesn't want like people that are like chubby or like
Well, it's a
bigger
fitness
people
brand.
wearing. Yeah.
Well, I think some people are gonna be naturally bigger than others, and that's completely fine. Like obviously, people are gonna have different genetics, but I don't agree with promoting to be unhealthy. I think that everybody should strive to be the best version of themselves. And if you start promoting to be unhealthy, what does that teach people?
It teaches people that that's okay. And that's why I feel like depression's very popular nowadays, because Lucas, what do you have to say?
No, I'm saying that's something like people spread too, like everything's being okay. Like you can be fat and you can be okay and you can love yourself. But deep down, bro, if I'm fat, I don't think I love myself.
Xander,
Like,
you hit it
myself.
perfectly. Like you hit it where nobody's telling anybody anymore that that's not okay. Like if I go and eat a Twinkie, and if I'm like 300 pounds, so it's okay. You have a great body. Like people need to be more honest. That's my.
It's not. Yeah,
take.
people aren't truthful. They're just telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that sometimes it is going to be rude or it is going to be offensive, but at the same time, is it okay to be okay with you being unhealthy? Like if you were to tell someone like you're really unhealthy, you need to lose weight, like that's not rude. I think that's like you're unhealthy, and I think that you're like, no, I'm comfortable being unhealthy. Like what the fuck does that mean? I'm comfortable in my own body being unhealthy. Like that's just, it makes no sense to me.
I wouldn't say it's rude, but I mean, have you guys been in the position of like, Tanner, you've been in the position of being fat, right? And
I was fat when I was in
you
high
were
school
fat?
for like 2 years during Fortnite. When that Fortnite was really popular in like 10th and 11th, 9th and 10th grade, I gained like 30 pounds, and like a lot. I was low key at one point, very big. I was spending 8 hours a day on the computer.
You were like
None of us were fat. We were all like kind of chunky.
No, so when you were fat, did any of your friends say anything to you?
Yeah. Like, well, Xander, you go first. I wasn't fat.
No, not really. No, I was young. It was in like 9th and 10th grade, and it was into that level. But none of my friends would have ever said anything.
I'm talking like, when I'm talking about fat, I'm talking like the people that are like, okay, let's say more like overweight to the obese side.
Yeah, no, I was never obese.
Like if you go up to them and be like, yo, you're fat, like they're gonna feel like, oh, what? Like they know they're fat. Like they know that like I'm fat and I'm
You'd
healthy.
be surprised. Like my mom was very overweight for like 8 years of her life. She tore both her ACLs and put on a lot of weight during that stint. And she tells me now, and she tells a lot of people now, she never realized how big she was until she
Really?
lost it all. Yeah. She never like just put it together. Like she knew she was overweight, but she never realized how big she was until she looks at the photos now. So
when
it's
it came to your mom losing that weight, how did she like start that journey? Did you tell her that she was getting a little big, or did she
Wow.
like herself? Because I feel like that's a tricky
She almost
situation to talk about.
killed my brother. So basically, she was driving in the car, and she like fell asleep at the wheel, and that was due to her like having medical conditions because of like her obesity. And she just fell asleep at the wheel and almost killed everybody who was in the car. And that was like, holy fuck, I gotta get my shit together. So she started walking to the stop sign from my driveway, which is like like literally 50 feet. She'd be out of breath, but she did that every single morning, and then that turned into there and back, and then that turned into down the street, and then around the neighborhood, and then at one point, I shit you not, when she like lost it all, and she wouldn't miss the morning. She'd be sick, she wouldn't miss it. She would do it every fucking morning. It was actually pretty impressive. And then at one point, she was doing 9 miles every morning. Like she would have
Just
3 hours,
walking?
4 hours in the morning. Yep, and walk 9 miles. So it was her time alone.
Look, that's the thing. When it comes to working out, you don't have like all you see in the fitness industry are people just lifting weights, like big people. Like it's intimidating at first. Like working out is intimidating, but you take it little by little, bro. Walking 10,000 steps a day, you lose, I think, 350 to 500 calories. That's a lot. Like if you just walk 10K steps, I know it's hard, but bro, wake up 1 hour earlier, go on a walk for an hour. I'm pretty sure you can do like 5K steps, like little by little. And once you start seeing progress,
That's the
like,
best.
Oh, wow, that's the best feeling in the world. Once you start seeing
when
progress,
you see progress, it's the best.
like Tanner, you can talk about that, right? Because you went from like 300 pounds fat person to like what 195.
He just wants me to admit that I was fat. No,
You were
but
300 pounds.
No, he's fucking with you. No, I was 210 most, and then I went to Thailand. I think that the thing that everybody needs to have to realize that something is off is to have something like Xander's mom had, where she fell asleep on the wheel, something like my dad had when he almost died from COVID. Everybody needs a scare in their life to realize that they're unhealthy.
I didn't know your dad almost died from COVID.
Sorry to interrupt, but like, what if there's someone who just doesn't have that scare in their life? Like, what would you tell them for advice to like start like going to the gym?
It's really hard because they don't realize it until everybody's telling them. But if nobody tells them, then you tell them. But if everybody's telling them and they're not listening, then it's really hard because they don't believe that they're fat or they don't believe that they're unhealthy.
No, I think they do know they're fat. Or it depends on the person though, because some people just don't like working out. I don't know. It's very tricky.
But there's so many
situation.
different. Like you could at least eat healthier. I mean, you have to work out. Like at least move your body. See, I don't like walking. I won't walk. You won't catch me on a walk.
You know what I would say?
Play a sport instead.
You know what I would say? I would tell them to set a goal, one goal. And it could be the smallest thing. It could be wake up earlier. Or it could be eat a little bit healthier, cut out French fries, cut out pizza. Just set one goal.
But I would also be like, if someone's like, I don't like working out, I don't like lifting weights. That's fine. I get that. Like, I don't like walking. If somebody doesn't like lifting weights, I get it. But I would just say something like, all right, do you like everybody's competitive a little bit deep down, like we're humans.
Yeah, 100%.
Play pickleball, try tennis. I don't know, that's fun. Throw a football, like something like that. I mean, that's what gets me going. Like I like playing basketball, I like playing sports. Because you're not even thinking about exercise. You're just thinking about like competition and fun. And then all of a sudden you're playing for 3 hours and you're sweating fucking bucket, you know?
Especially when you play with your friends, like your mind's not even on like working out. It's just
exactly.
Your friends.
So to bring it back to where we started about mental health, my advice to the people who are watching is get outside, hang around people who are positive, and just do things that you like doing. You don't have to do it a lot, but just do it the best you can. That's my advice.
No, it's good advice. Like hang around positive people because there's a lot of negative people out there that will bring you down.
And if you do need help, get it.
All right. We'll end it right there. If you need help, get it. Thank you guys for watching the Kicking Ass with Tanner Stone podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe and like the video. Peace.